Skyscrapers have taken over modern-day architecture. Their towering heights are undeniably impressive for today's standards, but over 1,000 years ago, the most breathtaking structures were basilicas. The first basilicas were built for business, legal matters, and public gatherings in ancient Rome. On any given day, there could be army training or markets taking place within a basilica. The building itself is said to be a rectangular walled structure with a hall extending from one end to another. A basilica structure is marked by a large central aisle with two smaller aisles on opposite sides. Compared to other buildings at this time, the basilica was extraordinarily large. Although the word basilica was originally a type of architecture, it became the name of a religious building after the Roman Empire adopted Christianity. The Romans created two classifications for basilicas, papal and minor. The papal basilicas are considered to be the most important, as the ceremony can only be held in one with the Pope's permission. There are only 4 papal basilicas in the world: St. John Lateran Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica, the Austrian Basilica, and the Basilica of St. Mary Major. Separate from the 4 papal basilicas, there are over 1,700 minor basilicas. Although these structures may not be considered as important, they still have precedence over other churches. To be considered a basilica, the church tends to be a pilgrimage church, one that is heavily visited. Oftentimes, a saint's grave or religious artifacts are all located near a basilica. The most famous basilicas in the world are the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine, St. Mark's Basilica, and as mentioned before, the Papal St. Peter's Basilica. Located in Rome, the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine is not only the largest building in the Roman Forum and the largest basilica in the world, but when it was completed in 312 AD, it was the largest structure to ever be built. The forum spans over 2,000 square meters, and its central aisle reaches a height of 39 meters. Due to an earthquake in the year 847 and another earthquake in 1349, the only part of the basilica still standing is its northern aisle. Unlike the half-standing Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine, the entirety of St. Mark's Basilica is still standing to this day in Venice. Completed in 1092, St. Mark's is most known for its beautiful mosaics painted throughout the interior of the building. The majority of the mosaics are made through gold glass tensere, a type of glass specifically used for mosaics, which creates the shimmering effect. St. Peter's Basilica is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. It is known for being home to the Pope and is the most prominent building in the Vatican City. Many major ceremonies are held here due to its size, fitting over 60,000 people at one time. In its courtyard there are 140 statues of saints, and right below the basilica is the Vatican Grottoes, which is the graveyard to 91 popes. It is easy to see why millions of tourists visit St. Peter's Basilica every year. The basilicas have had a major influence on both ancient and modern architecture, so next time you visit your local church, try and see if it has any structural similarities to that of a basilica.